distribution from here on out. So here is a a uniform distribution. How do you know it's uniform? Because it what? How do I know it's uniform? Thank you, Mrs. Campbell. You are so alert. The rest of the class sucks. Alright? It says uniformly. So that means that your graph is going to look like a rectangle. Okay, y'all ready to try it again? I know what y'all are doing. Y'all both want to do it because y'all want me to throw a connection here. I know that's what y'all are doing. What? I didn't hear what you said. You like Logan. You talk so fast, I can't hear you. Really? You have got to be kidding me. Yeah. Was it not working? Yeah. Well, it. Where did I start?
On the other side.
Priority 1 message coming in on secure channel.
I took my medicine this morning. Where did I start?
In here.
Mr. Devo, you did it. All right. Now the thing about normal and uniform distribution is the probability or the area in the region is going to be equal to 1.0000. Now the reason I go to 4 decimal places when I talk about area is because whenever you see 4 decimal places in this section, in this chapter, that's area. 2 decimal places is what? Y'all actually watched the video, huh? Z-score will be like 2 places. Alright? Decimal places. So whenever you see 2 decimal places, you know it's a Z-score. Whenever you see 4 decimal places, you know it's an area.
Priority 1 message
so
coming in
the area under this region, or in this region, is 1.0000. Now what kind of shape is this? And back from our pre-algebra days, we know that the area of a rectangle or a quadrilateral is equal to length times what? Well, that's a little bit too complicated for people. So we're going to do base times height. Because people actually melt down, and if I say this is the length, they actually melt down because they think that's the width. And they can't figure out what this is if this is the length. Because they can't think of this as a width because it's going up and down, and it freaks them out. So we're going to do base times what? Base times height. Right? Now what do we have? We have 1, which is the what? Area. Yeah, it says it right here. Read, forward, pay attention. 1 is equal to, and what are we giving up here? So let's read it. Let's say blah, 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 uniform distribution between 50 and what? So they stop between 50 and 60 minutes. So what is my base? So if I have my area and I have my base, what can I find? The height. So I divide by 10. And y'all might need a calculator for this. 1 over 10 is 0.1. So your height is 0.1. And your width is 10. Or your base is 10 and your height is 0.1 or 0.2. So now the second part of the question asks, find the probability that a given class is between 50.75 and 51.75. So what's the base here? 1. 1 times 0.10 is what? 0.10. So that is your area. You've got a 10% chance that it's going to fall between 50.75 and 51.75. So let's make a list on what to do. 1. Draw a picture. And with uniform distribution, it's going to look like a what? A rectangle. Second thing you do. Remember that area is equal to 1. And you can put 1.0, you can do the 4 zeros or whatever. Therefore, number 3, 1 is equal to base times the height. 4, given the base, which you will be given the base, find the height. And then 5, find new base. Find new base and calculate new area. So there's 5 steps. 1, draw a picture. It's going to look like a rectangle. 2, establish that 1 is equal to the area. 3, if 1 is equal to the area, then 1 is equal to base times the height. Find the given base, which is usually given in the first sentence. And then 2, find the new base, or after you find H, find the new base, which is the second part of the sentence, and calculate by your 0.1 or whatever your height is. And that's how you do that type of problem. So with that, you try that one. And I'll blow it up a little. Need some dumbbells. Remember, they're about $30 a piece. Need to advertise that on Craigslist. They got to find somebody that stole some or something. All right, you should be done. No, you should have a good portion of it done. If you don't, just mark it up as being failure. Or living in a ditch, one of the two. Somebody tell me what the base is. Good job. Y'all are so smart. There's the base. Area is 1. So 1 is equal to 8 times h. 1 is equal to 8 times h. And I'm going to solve for h. Divide by 8. And h is equal to 1/8 or the equivalent decimal. I don't care. You can do what you want to. It doesn't matter because it's not really that difficult. Okay, so that takes care of the first part of the sentence. Now, what does the second part say? Find prop blah, 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 blah is less than 0.75 minutes. 0.75 minutes, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't laugh at my marks, okay? All right, 0.75 would be right in here, right? And what area is to the less than 0.75? It's this area right here. So all we need is the new base. What's the new base? 0.75 times 1/8. Now that's a fraction and a decimal, and you can't do any thinking with your brain with a fraction and a decimal, and that doesn't work. So either change one to a decimal, both to a decimal, or both to a fraction. What's easier to work with your brain? A fraction or a decimal? A fraction. Unless you skipped over fractions and your teacher did teach you fractions in the past and you just fell through the cracks and you don't know how. So that's 3/4 times what? 1/8. Does anything cancel? No, I don't think so. So 3 over what? 32? All right, now I'm going to throw some common sense in here. Yeah, you're going to reduce it. You can reduce it to a fraction. I mean a decimal, but I can already tell you what the decimal is. It's going to be around It's going to be around 0.1. It's going to be around 0.1. What is that? 0.09375, around 0.1. How in the world did I do that in my head? 3 over 33 is what? 1 over 11, and 1 over 10 is what? It's a miracle. I'll still say it's 0.1, but you say it's 0.9375 something? And 0.93. So 0.093. Okay, sorry. 0.09. Which is close to 0.1. Listen, if you put 0.1 on the test, if you tell me on the test, if you were writing the hard copy test, my calculator died, I did this in my head, I'd probably know. Because that means you're using what? Your brain. I'd give you credit. Full credit. Wait till you meet one of those people that can't make change. Wait till you meet one of them. You're going to get mad. So you got a story to tell us? Do tell.
I encountered a dumber person at the cash register than yours.
Okay.
I'm on a diet.
Okay, you are.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yes, and I've actually lost 24 pounds.
Good for you.
Okay, but
You still suck.
Bilo, I know. Bilo,
Which Bilo?
on LA.
Oh, LA Bilo? Don't go. Sorry.
But anyway, grapefruit are 10 for 10, and I get 3 bananas on my diet. And the lady says, it's $38 for me. I said, man, something wrong. I said, the grapefruit are 10 for 10, and 3 bananas is not going to be $28. So she takes all the grapefruit out, puts them individually, puts 6 in one file, 2 in one file, 2 in one file. And then the new price is $28 and change. And I can't convince, she says, the problem is 6 of them have stickers for white apricots on them. And she tells me that they have to be weighed up, because they can't be part of the special because they have the stickers. Yeah. So I go through this two more, yeah, I go through this two more. So finally, you know, the two that's over here, way over here.
You did video this so you could send it the world's dumbest videos.
Then I asked her, I said, well, those two over there like cantaloupe or watermelon or something, you know, and she says, you don't understand. And I said, oh, you do that, I don't understand. You know, she said, one moment. I said, you're 10 grapefruits, you're $10. Just wait for 3 bananas and I'm out of here. I'm calling my manager. And when the manager comes, it's $10.97, something like whatever it was. She made it for 50. And then tells this girl that she's doing a great job because she's following the training matrix. Yeah.
Evidently, the training matrix isn't much on common sense.
Well, they must have removed the girl's brain before they did it.
All she had to do was run one of the grapefruit and hit quantity 10, and it should have.
Yeah. Yeah. Two of them were right. And I kept saying, just, as I said, just take the grapefruit.
Yeah, that one's got mine beat. That my McDonald's up on 81 got it beat. Even though I did shut down the managers, he had to go out and get a calculator. All right, so this is normal distribution. First thing to do, draw a picture. Now, a lot of you are going to say, I don't need to draw a picture. I know how to do this. When you get into the more complicated problems, it might help you to draw a picture in 6.5 and in 6.3. Okay? I had asked me that. Why? And then we got 6.5 or 6.3. I see why you asked me to draw pictures. It helps. That's why in science and math, you draw pictures when you're trying to solve a what? A problem. 2. Use mu is equal to 0 and standard deviation is equal to 1. So therefore you'll have 2 on one side and -2 on the other. -1, -2 on the other. Plot given. Now, what will be given? Either your area or what? Z-score. One of these two will be given, and you got to find the other. And then 4, find the opposite. Find opposite of number 3. Now that's a Hubertism way of doing it. Some of y'all have had Math 120 in high school, and some of y'all remember how to do it. I don't know if you've had it or not. But the point is, it's not that difficult. There's hardly any math involved. So, I don't like these, so I'm going to draw a picture. I'll just do this. You know, if consistency work on this board half the time, it wouldn't be so frustrating. Forget it. Anyway, I'm going to draw a picture. Two on the right, left, 2 on the right. 0, 1, 2, -1, -2. What are they giving us? It says find the area of the shaded region, blah, 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 blah. What are they giving us? Are they giving us an area or are they giving us a z-score? a z-score. It's about 0.5, isn't it? Right at 0.5, so that means it's right in here. So I'm going to take my handy dandy blue marker and I'm going to mark this area in blue. Y'all are impressed, aren't you? All right, there's the blue area. Now what do we do? Well, you can either look it up in the Z table, which is the A2 table. You got two sheets. You got the positive z-score and the negative z-score. Let me ask you a question. What is that z-score, positive or negative? So you look on the positive z-score. What are you looking for? An area or a z-score? You're trying to find the area. So are you looking for 4 decimal places or are you looking for 2? 4. 4. So get in the table and find the positive z-score table and find a 4-digit number at 0.47. That would be 0.4, and then count over 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and give me that 4-digit number. Point what? 0.6443. Now, why did I write it on the left side?
That's not right.
Why do y'all set me up?
It's
8 and an 8. Yeah.
Why do y'all set me up? 6808. Now, all tables, these tables, look at the top. Under the shaded area, what does it say? It says table A2 continues. What does it say? Cumulative from what? The left. Does it say anything about the right-hand side? No. And what do I mean by right-hand side? Well, the left-hand side of your mark is blue. The right-hand side, we'll paint yellow. Okay, there's the right-hand side. The right-hand side, you don't know by the table. The table does not tell the right-hand side. How do you find the right-hand side? Well, if you watch my video, you find the complement. The right-hand side is equal to 1 minus the what? Left-hand side, which is the complement of the left-hand side. Okay? So if ever, how do you know they want the right-hand side? When you see the words greater than or more than, you probably are going to have to find the right-hand side. Now the good thing about the calculator is you just put in the numbers from left to right, however you see it. So let's do that. Here's your picture. I'm going to add a number line on this one because everybody knows what that arrowhead is called and everybody knows what this arrowhead is called. What's this arrowhead called? Negative what? Negative infinity. I'm sorry, it wasn't for a test. If it wasn't for a test, y'all didn't what? You didn't learn it. So, negative infinity, and what is this?
Positive infinity.
Positive infinity. That's what those two arrowheads called on the number line. And I guarantee you, somebody in here has never seen that before. Why? Because it's not on the standardized test. All right. This is what? 0, 1. I'm sorry. 1, 2. Negative. And I'll just erase that. And this is 1. And this is 2. All right. Which way do we read? Left to right. our area that we want, 0.47, is right in here. I'll take my blue highlighter. It's too big. It's too small. There's my area. And I want to measure, I want to find the area between negative infinity and what? Alright, so there is my, that's my interval. It's called interval notation. Those algebra days, interval notation bracket, and then a parenthesis always goes on infinity, and the bracket goes on the number that you can use or you go up to that's inclusive of that number. So we're going to put that in the calculator. So how do you do that? Well, you type in second, bars, and then which one is it? Normal CDF, which one is that one? 2? Number 2, and then type in negative infinity. That's not in there. So think up a BA number. The BA number, the bigger the number, the better. But I tell students 9999. You can use 10,000. You can use 1,142. I've used something over 1,000. So I'm going to put in, instead of infinity, I'm going to put in negative 9999, comma, 0.47. Somebody tell me what you get when you do second bars number 2, negative 99999, comma, 0.47, close parentheses. What do you get? 0.6808. That sounds familiar. What did we get on the previous problem? 0.6808. So you can use your calculator to go from left to right, or from find the right side, find your mark, and go to positive infinity. If negative infinity is negative 999, what do y'all think positive infinity is? 432, 9999, okay, or 2,000, or whatever number you want to use. Don't use 20. What did I say? I said try to use a number over what? 1,000. When you start getting down to the 3-digit numbers around 100, that's when the 4-digit decimal places start to come off a little bit. You can use 999,999. Heck, you can make 10 nines if you want to. Just don't use 2. If you use 2, the 4th digit is going to be off a little bit. Y'all feel good about yourself?
So
Okay.
you can either use a calculator or the table.
You use whatever you want. But the reason I do show you by hand is so you know if something happens, you know how to find it in the table. And we got it right. All right, so that's on a scale from 1 to 10, that's a 1. All right, this is about a 4 or 5. Between. When you see the word between, what do? Well, let me ask you a question. Right quick, if I asked you, you're in Anderson right now, everybody in this room is in Anderson, and I told you that I wanted you to go through Greenville and go to Spartanburg and pick me up at the park and bring it back. And you're trying to figure out how many miles it is, but you know that it's 35 miles to Greenville, and you know that the total distance from Anderson to Spartanburg is 75 miles. So what is the area, what is the area? What is the distance from Greenville to Spartanburg? How did you get that so quick? What did I subtract? You said 75 minus 35, but what are they? What is this? A big number, big distance, minus the what? The smaller distance, and that will give you basically what's between. Remember that. When you see the word between, and you're dealing with area and normal distribution, you're going to take the higher area and minus the what? Lower area. Just remember Anderson-Spark Brothers. So, look at that. I'm going to blow it up for you. These I can blow up and not mess up my orientation. Now, if you got a calculator, you don't have to subtract it. You just go from what? Negative 0.84 to what? 1.84. And you don't have to look up anything. Did you get that from the video? So you actually did it? You're the second person in history to do that. It took a grueling amount of time to do it, didn't it? About a minute? Yeah. But it's easier to complain about drawing them. All right, what's your larger area? 1.25, and that comes out to be, I don't know, looks like 80%, maybe more, 85%. And then we're going to subtract the negative 0.84. So I'm not going to look it up in the table. I'm going to do it on the calculator. I'm going to do it both ways on the calculator. So y'all watch. It's a trick I learned in the war. All right. That's a joke. All right. Second function bars. I'm going to find the area from negative infinity, negative 9999999, comma, what's the big one? 1 point what? 1.25? My area came out to be 0.8944. Is that what y'all got? I love it when I do this problem and somebody says, well, I got 0.894350. What did I tell you about area? A simple concept. What did I say about area? It will always be what? 4 decimal places. 0.8944. Did you get it, Mr. Harbin? I already think you're stupid, but go ahead. Yeah, it's going to come up, put in 0 for mean, and okay, what else was asked? Okay, the lower is going to be negative 0.87. You got it? You were thinking of doing one at a time. No, you don't. On those, you don't. You were thinking about doing it the way I'm doing it, one area at a time, but that one does it at one time. It doesn't do the 2 separate areas. Just put the lower value and upper value. Okay.
Okay, I'm doing something wrong here. Hang on a second.
Oh, good gosh.
Okay, after you put in the 1 point,
Y'all could screw up a dream.
yeah, the 1.25,
Yeah,
okay,
that's the higher end.
okay. Then, what do you do after you put that second bracket?
You hit enter.
Okay, I get it.
Did you put, now make sure you don't put the subtraction symbol. Don't put the subtraction symbol. Put the negative down here.
Okay,
The calculator don't know that subtraction symbol is a negative.
okay.
God, what a surprise. You know, it would not do for me to write comments on errors, or if you got one wrong on the test or got one or error. Can you imagine what kind of fun you could have? You suck. Syntax error. Quit school. What?
Look, man. All right, so look, that's all that's right?
Can't see. Got it at an angle. Lowers -0.84.
Yeah. Hit it.
And then hit enter.
Hit it again. Hit it again. Hit it again. Error.
Okay, hold on. Bars. I don't know what paste is.
Let's just to put it like you had it in yours. It does it like that. It writes it out.
It's not supposed to. It's normal. Backspace. 1.25. I don't know why it's doing that, bud. We'll have to, let's do it, let's look at it after class. Whenever I quit class. Okay, besides his, is everybody else getting point? Well, I ain't finished, but if you do the larger area, do you get 0.8944? All right, now I'm going to do the other area, second, enter, and I'm going to do -99 to negative what? Point what? 84. And enter. I get 0.2005. Right? So 0.8945 minus, I'll say 444, sorry, 44, minus 0.2005 is equal to, I got 0.6939. Yeah, I'm going to do that next.
Usually I got it.
What'd you do?
I don't know. I rewrote it and how that works. I got it.
I bet you used a subtraction instead of the negative.
No, I didn't.
Well, I don't know what it could have been.
Hold on. Let me put the negative in.
All right, did y'all get 0.6939? All right, so now let's check it and do it just from left to right and not subtract the larger from the smaller from the larger. And let's check it. So second, enter. Second, enter. And I'm going to punch in negative 0.84, comma, 1.25, delete, 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 and enter.
Not clear.
6939. It's a miracle.
You get clear and then delete it.
Yeah, everything goes away. All right, so the area between this is 0.6939. Everybody with me? Don't hit that subtraction symbol. That's it. Now, what's the difference between 6.2 and 6.3? Well, the only difference is 6.3, the mean and standard deviation. The mean and the standard deviation is not equal to 0 and 1. In 6.3, the only difference is the mean is going to be not equal to 0, and the standard deviation is not going to be equal to 1. They're going to be big numbers, usually in the hundreds. IQ scores, test scores, they're not going to be z-scores. But what do? Well, first, draw a picture. Two, label with mu and sigma. Plot, point, or area. And then 4, focus on z-score or area, depending on what they're asking for. In other words, if they give you a point, you're going to focus on the what? You're going to focus on the area. If they give you an area, what are you going to focus on? Z-score. Just like the first one. Except this time, you got 2 formulas that you can use to find the z-score and to find x. What is x? Well, x is going to be the number that coincides with given scale. In other words, if you're given, let's just make this up easy. If the mean is 100 and the standard deviation is 10, then what's 2 standard deviations? 80 to 120, right? Okay. If I say find the area, find the percentage of students that make 111, then 111 is x. X is the number that's given that coincides with the mean and the standard deviation. If I give you 0.2 or 2.1, you know that 2.1 versus 110, what is 2.1? Is that x or is that a z-score? It's a z-score, because these numbers are going to be higher than 2. And then also, x is the number that coincides with the given scale. And then, of course, you can find the z-score if given. So here's the 2 formulas that you're going to use in 6.3. One you know very well. Z is equal to x minus mu over what? Standard deviation. If you need to find a z-score, to find an area, that's what you're going to use. That's what you're going to use. Every once in a while, come back. I'm sorry. That's what you're going to use. Isaster. All right. And x is equal to Oz plus mu. And that's kind of a hubridism. I did that. I derived it one time on the board, and I said, that looks like Oz. And I started calling it Oz plus mu. And I don't think they give it to you in the book. They just tell you to solve for x. But I think it's easy to remember Oz plus mu. So let's take these 2 guys. Mr. Nelson, what time is it? What time's class over, truthfully? I don't need that, Mr. Nelson. Some of y'all I don't trust at all.
2:10.
Are you serious?
Yes, we have
Okay.
11 minutes.
All right. Have how much?
11.
Okay. I thought you were lying to me or something. What?
I'll go in and extra minute of class.
I want to listen. I'm trying to get this thing squeezed down a little bit. There we go. All right, there's my, I was trying to get a copy of it. Did I copy it? I guess I did. All right, I want to change this to transparency and pull up our handy dandy homework. 6.3. I'm just going to give you a starter problem. We'll start off pretty easy. The only difference in these is these are going to have bigger numbers. See? 125. Well, there's no 125 in your z-score table. And you can't put 0 to the negative 99.99 to 125 because then you will get an error. Or an error, depending on where you're from. So the first thing you do is you change 125 into what? Z-score. That's right, class. Because this is x. When you see a number that's big and not a z-score, it's usually x. What about standard deviation and right there? So z of 125. In other words, I'm finding the z-score for x is equal to 125. Is equal to 125 minus 100 over what? 15? Well, that's equal to 25 over 15, which is equal to 5 over what? 3, which is equal to 1 2/3, which is equal to, if you know your fractions, 1.67. Now, I didn't draw a picture, but now you can, because now you've got a 6.2 problem. 1.67 is right here. So take your handy dandy calculator or your table and go from negative infinity to what? 1.67. And somebody do that for me. What do you get? Come on, it don't take that long. No, I got one class that's rude. I got another class that's disappointing. What? 0.9525. To make sure that we're supposed to get the left-hand side. What does it say? Okay, I'm sorry. Shaded area. Yeah, so that's 0.95. Now, what's the difference? Is this different? No, this is what you were doing in 6.2. This is what you're doing in 6.3. Okay, one more. All right, try that one. And this we'll finish up with this one. I'll take the roll while y'all are working on this one. It is not time to go yet. So don't start packing up because that's rude. Finish the problem, then you can pack up. Right. Miss Campbell distracted me. Just let me know, I'll call security. Security!
How, when to get your X, do you add those two numbers together? Since there's two numbers?
You get the z-score for one and the z-score for the other, and then you put them in the calculator or look up the table and subtract the smaller from the higher.
So you use the numbers separately?
Yes.
Okay.
can't remember what class this is. 24? All right, Miss Brabazon. Where are you? Okay. Quiet in the corner. Mr. Bright is here. How about the Brown sisters? I think I see all of them. Yep, they're here. Buchanan. Campbell's here. Kayo's here. Carlisle, I saw you. Where are you? There you are. Clayton is here. Cochran is here. DeVoe is here. Evans is here. Freeman is here. Harbin Harkness is here. Jones, where are you? There you are, the quiet one again. I'm learning all of you, but the quiet ones. Junkins is here. Kidd, where are you? Lane. Martin's here. McLean's here. Nelson's here. Powell's here. Schmidt's here. Scott. Stansall. And Stelling.
Here.
Okay, I'm going to do this one right quick for you. And y'all need to work on homework. Alright, so let's do it in our heads. Alright, 126 minus 100 is 26 over 15. Well, just do it do it on your calculator. 26 over 15. Dang old 26 divided by 15. Thank you. All right, keep that in your memory bank. 102. So that's going to be 100 or 102 minus 100 is what? 2? And 2 divided by 15. Dang old. All right, so now you do second function vars, normal CDF, and go from 0.1333, comma, no, dork, 0.13, sorry, comma, 1.73. And you hit the enter button, and I got 0.4065. And you type that in, and you feel good about yourself. All right, now you got 2 sections of homework to work on.